Hello, everyone. This is Angela here, and tonight I'm going to be talking about the narcissistic personality disorder. And tonight's topic is going to be boundaries. I had always, I had a moment of self-reflection after my very bad breakup with my last boyfriend, and I realized that I needed to make some changes in my life and to try to understand why I keep attracting this same type of narcissist over and over again. And I realized that part of the problem was me, my personality and just the way I express myself, with people. So tonight I want to talk about healthy boundaries versus weak boundaries when dealing with narcissists in a relationship, you know, in an intimate relationship, like, all right, for example, okay, and we're going to talk about dating and meeting people, okay, and just showing, I'm going to use my own personal experience as an example to explain how, my boundaries is what attracted these people to me, okay, these guys, these freeloaders, okay. The first example I will use is this guy, Danny. And Danny was a guy that I had dated back in the late 1990s, from 96 to 98 or 99. And until I realized that I had just had enough of him because he was a very impertinent, intrusive type of individual. But he had planned this 50th anniversary party for his grandparents. And I had a credit from a bridal shop because I had broken up an engagement in 1994. And, you know, they would not refund my money, but they gave me store credit. So instead of, you know, I turned around and I offered to use the store credit so that his grandmother could get a formal dress for the 50th anniversary party. And then his mom wanted a dress. And, you know, they used up $1,000 worth of store credit from the bridal shop. And he never offered to pay me any money. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's just, he was that type of person that anything that he could get for nothing and take advantage of somebody, that's exactly what he did. Okay. When I used to go to the supermarket, and this is when I was in paralegal school, I was taking law courses and I was broke as shit. And on welfare and food stamps while putting myself through school, and a single mother. And he used to say, I sacrificed my ball game so that I can go with you to go food shopping. And he would put spring water and tuna fish in my shopping cart and expect me to pay for it. And me, like a dummy, used to do it because I was so used to just letting people take advantage of me. And I didn't like it, but I didn't speak up. Okay. Now, if I had stronger boundaries, I'd say, look, this is $1,000 store credit. Okay. How about chipping in and giving me something for it? You know what I'm saying? It's like my boundaries were so weak, I just never spoke up about it. And this is how I got taken over. Another example is this guy, David. And I'm going to use the following example to show healthy boundary versus weak boundary, okay, to keep a freeloader away. Okay, let's just say I was having a barbecue in my backyard. And this guy, David, from the neighborhood, he's like, love bombing me with all his sweet talk and everything. And, and I'm all smitten and everything, not really thinking, of how to handle a situation when it comes to the unwritten rules of dating and courtship. Okay, so I would be like, oh, I'm having a barbecue. Why don't you come over? And it was like he was always coming over for a free barbecue. Okay, and like he'd be like, oh, that sounds really good. Maybe I'll come over. So now, if I was having a barbecue, I would say, yeah, I'm having a barbecue this weekend. He'd say, oh, what time's dinner? I would say, uh, excuse me, I didn't see your name on the guest list. Okay, that's somebody with strong boundaries. Okay, you don't allow people to invite themselves over to your house for dinner. Okay, because they're going to eat your food up and they're not going to give you anything. They come to your house empty-handed and they freeload off of you. Okay. Another example, like this time I got smart. Okay, I ran into the same type of individual who was my high school sweetheart. Okay, and I always get season tickets for Six Flags. Okay, because I'm like a roller coaster adrenaline junkie. Okay, my son Patrick, and I, we always go and ride the roller coasters and do all the fun stuff in the summer. It's really cheap and it's worth the season passes. And when you get the season pass, okay, they allow you to take a guest for free. Okay, so he's like, I told this guy that I was planning on going to Six Flags. He's like, and he's like, well, I like to go to Six Flags with you. No, I'm not offering him to come with me on my guest pass. Okay, he's got to pay his own way, and if he wants to, or any other guy wants to take me out, he's going to have to pay his way, at least pay his way. Okay, and if he's not willing to invest in the relationship, okay, then I don't, I'm not investing anything either, physically, financially, or anything else. And that's the way you got to deal with these people. And I learned this too late in life, okay? Because when you're too good, there's no saying when you're too good, you're no good. And people take advantage. They really, really do. So you got to set strong boundaries, because narcissists, they not only push boundaries, but they can be very impertinent, which means rudely bold about it, okay? They're very intrusive, okay? They constantly push those boundaries, and you need to learn the techniques to push them back. I recommend a book for women, okay? Ladies, if you really want to get in on the game, there's a book that's on the #1 bestsellers list by a woman. Her first name is Sherry. I don't know her last name. You could Google the book. It's called Why Men Love Bitches. Okay, and bitches stands for babe in total control of herself. And what it means, it's a book about boundaries, about how not to let a man step all over you. Seriously. And that book used the following scenario. There was a woman who was dating a doctor, and she was really into this doctor, but he really wasn't into her. So she offered, he liked dating her, but he wasn't really into her. You know what I mean? Meaning that it was going to be a one-on-one relationship. Okay. So this woman offers to cook dinner for him, and he accepted her dinner invitation. Okay. And so she cooks this elaborate meal, and he's saying to one of his other doctor friends, oh, God, I really don't want to go over to this woman's house. And he blows her off, okay? He calls her after everything is cooked, prepared, table set beautifully, delicious food already, and he just blows her off, never calls her to cancel. He just, totally blew her off. Then, later on in the night when it was time to go to bed, he calls her and he says, oh, I'm so sorry. I had an emergency at the hospital and I had to do something or whatever. So she turns around and she says, Now, here's the weak boundaries, okay? She turns around and says, oh, don't worry about it. It's fine. I'll cook the meal for you tomorrow. Come over anytime. Anytime you want to come, just come, you know? It's perfect. I totally understand, okay? A woman with strong boundaries would say, sorry that you couldn't make it. Dinner was delicious. Oh, well, your loss. And then don't invite him no more. Why? Because he didn't have the common courtesy to call her early in the day to stop her from going through all the trouble of making that dinner. And he didn't even, say that he would make it up to her. It's not up to her to make it up to him. You know what I'm saying? It's not up to her to jump through hoops like a circus dog to cook this man dinner again when he disrespected her like that. Okay? And that's what that book is all about. So if you guys are interested in that book, it's called Why Men Love Bitches, and it's the author's name is Sherry. I forget her last name, begins with an A, but Google it. You'll find it very easily online. Highly recommend that book. That's been my whole problem. It's like I've had very weak boundaries, and I would let myself get disrespected. And I had my aha moment with my last boyfriend, who just wanted to sit in my house, go on YouTube, okay, watch YouTube videos, not my videos, just YouTube videos, eat my food, have me cook and serve him, and then go home to his mother. Okay, what am I getting out of this? Except work. Okay. Love is not tit for tat, but when somebody loves you and they're cooking for you and going out of their way for you, it's up to the other person to also express their gratitude and love for you. No flowers, no cards, no nothing. It simply amazes me. It's like they all read from the same script. And that's exactly the type of narcissist I always used to attract, the freeloader. Just like it says in that book that I talked about in my last video. So with that said, I'm going to wrap it up. And, if you guys have a situation that you want to talk about where you're struggling with boundaries, or you want to talk about your own personal growth with how you dealt with your narcissist, because it's impossible to say that you're never going to meet a narcissist. You will always meet a narcissist in your life. Either you're going to work with one, you're going to interact with them in society, unless you go move into a cave and live like a hermit. Okay, it's just not going to be. And they can really, really damage your psyche if you allow them to. Don't allow them to. So if you need help with that issue, I strongly recommend that book. I'll recommend a few others for ladies out here. And guys, there's a lot of guys out there that, they find themselves in the same situation. These women, they're really hot, and the guy is like smitten with the woman, and he finds out he's with a somatic narcissist. Somebody's just going to use him as a cash register, to pay for the nails, to pay for the hair, pay for all that, and he's not getting anything out of it, or very little. That's how you know you're being used. So with that, I'm going to wrap up this video. Please leave a comment, like, share, subscribe my videos. I really appreciate it. Thanks a lot, guys, and have a good night.